So yeah, good evening. In the previous class, we have gone through what are like what is this networking and CD and what is this VPC, cloud front, root 253, and this API gateway and this direct connect and all. So now in today's class, we will be looking at what are we will have but we'll just go through what is what about all those developer tools that is just code start, code commit, code build, code deploy, code pipeline, Cloud9, and X-Ray. So as we all know, we have seen in the introduction class about this developer tools. Code start is nothing but you can quickly deploy, build, like and develop applications. Like you can just code your application there and build the model and just deploy your application there itself. And when it comes to code commit, you can store your code in private Git repositories. So this is what all this like group development teams do. They share this code in a private Git repository. And when it comes to this code build, it allows you to build and test the codes for your application. Like you will be going to, like you will be adopting this developer tools in order to build your application, right? So with the help of this code build, you can build and test your code of your application. And coming to this code deploy, it automates this code deployments for your application to become live. And when it comes to code pipeline, it releases software using continuous delivery. And yeah, you will get it in like when we see what is this code pipeline. And when it comes to this Cloud9, it's completely a new environment to develop your applications. So a Cloud IDE for it is an integrated development environment for writing, running, and debugging your codes in the cloud. And when it comes to this X-ray, it analyzes and debugs your application. So what we do, what do we do, or what did this doctors do when anyone got, when anyone got stuck with an accident or something like you know, any accidents. So what they'll do is, if they have any doubt or if they just want to know what like in what has happened in any part, in particular part. So what they'll be doing is they'll simply take an X-ray of that part. Uh, Assume that I'm riding my bike and I just met with an accident and I just went to this hospital. And what this hospital people do is they ask me to get an X-ray of my hand. So after getting this X-ray of my hand, this particular doctor sees or takes and analyzes this X-ray and will get to know that okay, there is some fracture in this particular point. So this X-ray is something similar to that X-ray. So it analyzes and debugs your application. So yeah, the first one is code star. So we'll just look at what is this code star and what will be there in this code star, and we'll be going through these in detail in the further classes. So coming to this AWS code star, it lets you quickly develop, build, and deploy applications on AWS. So what you will be doing here is you will like you're going to build an application. Yeah, like you're going to build an application. So what you'll be doing is you'll start a project in this code start, and in this you will be creating a new application by giving your application name and everything, and it will work across your team securely. Like you know, you will not be working on your project, right? Like not only you will be doing this alone. So what you then you people have a team to build a project or build an application, or build an API or whatever it may be. You people have a team, right? So you will be and you will be allowing your teammates to use this code star and build or develop this code here, and you can easily manage this software deliveries easily. So it iterates quickly with everything you need, including source and build, test, and development and deployment tools. So yeah, and the next one is code commit. So here we have this thing, right? So whenever in code start, we'll click on this start a project, right? So it will ask you to create a service role. So like it would like it will be asking permissions to the AWS resources and IAM permissions on your behalf. And like if you want it, you just click on this yes create role, and if you don't want, yeah, you just simply select this go back. Like yeah, so now you have to choose a project template here. So like what do you want, like in what language you want, or on which platform you want, that is either this Go or Node.js, Python, Java, there's HTML, Express, Elastic.js, PHP, Python, Django, PHP, Laravel, yeah, and yeah. So here what we'll be doing here is this Node.js is used, completely is dedicatedly used for this web applications as a backend code. So instead of this PHP, we will be writing all the backend code in Node.js. But when it comes to this Python, no, Python is also used for web services. Like you can actually write codes. Depending like for the backend in Python also, and it will be also giving us the virtual instance of the server which will be working. That is this AWS Lambda in both this Node.js and this Python case. And when it comes to this HTML, no, HTML is only used for the static websites. So Amazon EC2, EC2 is the server instance which will be helping or which will be working on this thing. And we also have this EC2 and Elastic Bean stack for this both Node.js and all. So once after you select the template, and then you have to set up your tools and then start coding. So as of now, I'm going to select this Python thing. So yeah, in this project name, I would like to create a chatbot. So I'm giving this chatbot here. So, like, you can actually select the repository which you want to use here. That is either your AWS code commit or the GitHub. So now I'm going to use this GitHub. Or no, yeah, I'm fine with this AWS code commit. So I'm going to use this code commit, and I'm clicking on this next. So yeah, this code star includes all the tools and services you need for this development project. This project includes an AWS code pipeline connected with the following tools. Okay, here you have your source and your build, test, deploy, and monitoring here. So, here your code star would ask permissions to this AWS administrator resources on behalf. Like you don't have to ask for the permissions or set up your resources depend like which are actually used for your application. This code star will take care of all these things on behalf of you. So now I'm going to click on this create project. So here, yeah, my template is done, and now I have to set up my tools. So yeah, like pick how you want to edit your code. You can use this AWS Cloud9 or command line tools or your Visual Studio or this Eclipse. So yeah, as of now, I'm going to select this command line tools. So yeah, now connect to your tools. That is, your operating system. My operating system is Windows. And for HTTPS on Windows, prerequest install Git repository. If you don't have Git install Git, install it now. So I'm going to install it now. So yeah, it's downloading. And install this AWS command line interface. And at the command line, type AWS configure and configure the AWS CLI with your IAM user access key and your secret key. So, once after this thing, no, like once after you do this AWS CLI, and you will be getting your IAM user public key, that is access, public and private key, that those are your access keys and your secret key. So now you have to clone your repository here. Okay. So now here my ID is not connected yet. So I'm getting this thing. Have yeah, no ID is connected. And now here you have this, right. Welcome to chatbot. This is my new thing. Like this is my new application here. So if you want to learn or if you are new to the sports star, you can click on this and just get to like you will it will be giving you how to use this sports star and what is this sports star or what is all the sports star about. And the next one is you can actually set up your team. So if my like if I have a 6-member team, I can actually add every one of them to this chatbot so that they can they can actually start coding for this chatbot application, and you can actually configure your issue trackings. So yeah, ID is nothing but an integrated development environment here. So yeah, if you want this will be showing you your cloud environments or your shared AWS resources and things, and you can actually code here like after clicking on this code thing, no, you will be redirected to this code thing. So yeah, here we have this build specs YML index py or it may be this template.yml and everything. Like I think if any one of you uses or have any idea about GitHub, this will be the format of all these files, right? This names or this .yml extensions and this index.py and everything. So here in this index.py, I have to put my code. So here is this is like you can see it here, right? Here I'm actually here. Yeah, this is the output for this hello world. So here you will be giving a chatbot code. Okay. So here you can actually pull request and commit things, and in the branches you can actually it's simply like versioning, and you can actually add tags so that you can easily understand or access your code even directly instead of searching it from the beginning. And here you can actually see the settings, right? Here you have this repository ID, repository ARN, and once after this is done, you can for this build down here you can actually this you have this getting started projects based history account metrics and all, and here you can actually deploy your application with this build, deployment application, deployment configurations and things. And when it comes to pipeline, you can yeah, check it. So this is your chatbot pipeline because your project name is chatbot and a new thing will be created with the name chatbot pipeline. So yeah, we'll look like we'll go in detail about this AWS code start in the next class. But as of now, we'll just simply move on to this code commit. So in the code start, we have seen this code commit, no, where we'll be saving or updating this code changes and everything. So this is where it happens. Commit is nothing but saving your codes, right? So code commit is nothing but your codes saving. So where do we do this code commit? We have this Git repository and also this service in AWS also. So and the rest will be same. And when we move to this code build, this will be here. So in the build projects, I think we have this chatbot, no? Like I didn't set up my ID, so that's why this is not it is not giving me this build projects thing. So once after your once after you set up your IDE and everything is done, then you can actually see here what are all the projects which you have built or which are under development and which all are what are all the projects which you are working on. And when we go to this code deploy, here under this deploy, we have this applications, right? So it is useful to deploy the applications in the real world. That is this, in live actually. But when you go to this code pipeline, here in under pipeline, we have seen all like I think we have seen this. Sorry. So yeah, here I have my this thing, stack details here. That is about my code deployment thing. So when I click on my code deploy in my project, this is how it shows me. Like what's the stack name and stack ID and what's the status and termination and IAM role about the description, what are all the outputs of the resources, events and all everything. Yeah. So here we can also see this templates, parameters, tags, rollback trigger, policies, change sets and everything. And if we see this code build, and we'll also check this, code. In this code, no, we have this thing, right? Like you can pull request, you can commit, you can branch anything, like you can branch things and all. So here in the build, no, under this build projects. So yeah, you can see it here, right? This is the project which we have created and we will work on. So under this code build, so here this is the code build, right? So yeah, here you can see this like this is a project now. And when you go to your deployments, like as you have not set your deployment IDs and you have not configured about your project up to this deployment, so it is not showing you anything. And when you can also see this about your pipeline. So here, yeah, this is your chatbot pipeline is also created. So yeah, when it comes to this Cloud9, no, it is an integrated development environment for writing, running, and debugging your code. So this Cloud9 allows you to write, run, and debug your code with just a browser. With AWS Cloud9, you have immediate access to a rich code editor, integrated debugger, and a built-in terminal with pre-configured AWS CLI, that is your command line interface. And you can get started in minutes and no longer have to spend the time to install local applications or configure your deploy development machines. So here, yeah, this is like you can actually go through this Cloud9, and you can actually just follow this getting started thing, and then yeah, it will guide you about how to use this Cloud9. And coming to this X-ray, AWS X-ray. AWS X-ray makes it easy for developers to analyze the behavior of distributed applications by providing them providing request tracking, request tracing, exception collection, and profiling capabilities. And here in under this X-ray, it has to it will analyze and debug the code, right? So here we have this debugging and also this tracing here, and we also have this service map here. So what is this debugging then? This X-ray helps you locate the source of the bugs by aggregating errors, faults, and exceptions. It is a powerful search capabilities help you pinpoint the issue. So it will try to sort out things, or to solve the bugs or the errors which are in your application. And when it comes to tracing, XA collects timings and response data needed to identify high latency services, bottlenecks, and throttling in a microservices architecture. And when it comes to the service map, XA creates a map of services used by your applications to provide you with a view of connections among clients, front-end services and downstream services, and yeah, something like this. So yeah, that is what about about this developer tools from the Sports Star. So with the Sports Star, we can actually build your applications and deploy things. With this code commit, you can save your codes in AWS or or in Git repositories. With the help of code build, you can build and test the models of the codes of your application. And with this code deploy, you can actually deploy your application to make it live. And under this code pipeline, it will show you what the flow of the project, or the the software releases in your process. And when it comes to cloud, then it is it is an IDE. It is an IDE to which helps you do all the things. That is your running your application, building your application, and testing and deployment and etc. So when it comes to this X-ray, it helps you debug and trace the bugs and identify So yeah, now we'll just look at this, you know, this intro to AWS developer tools. So yeah, so firstly we'll look at this. What is this DevOps and AWS enabled DevOps? Introducing this AWS Code Star and AWS Code Services, and we'll look at the summary. So here, coming to DevOps, it is a union of software development and operations, migration of agile continuous development into continuous integration and continuous delivery. So what is this DevOps model? It's no silos that is put emphasis on communication, collaboration, and cohesion between the disciplines and best practices for change, configuration, and deployment automation. Deliver apps, services at faster pace, high speed product updates, and all. So here we can actually see this thing, right? Here we have our screen which builds, tests, and releases. This is the delivery pipeline. So here what it will be doing is it monitors and plans thing and just sends it back. So yeah, coming to this release process, four major phases are the source, build, test, and product. Like this is sorry, production. And coming to this source, you have your check-in source code such as your .java files or .py files within Python or .html files, and peer review new code. And when it comes to build, you compile codes, you unit test them, you they undergo the style checkers, code metrics, and create container images and all. Under this test, we have this integration test with other systems, load testings, UI tests, penetration testings, and all. Under this production, we have this, deployment to production environment. That is your post-production phase in your application. So yeah, in this process levels, no, with this continuous integration, you can actually have the source and build together. With this continuous delivery, you can actually mix this source, build, and test, and then you will check them at the production stage. With this continuous deployment, you don't have to pass each and every level because everything is done simultaneously, and all these things which are to be done in different levels are done. So here, yeah, you can see this portfolio here, the software development and the continuous delivery tool chain here. We have this code start, AWS code commit, which saves the thing, and the code build, which allows you to build your code, and code deployment, which allows you to make your application live. And you have your code pipeline, that is your patch-wise release of your software or your application. And when it comes to this infrastructure as a code, you have your AWS Cloud Formation, AWS OpsWorks, and OpsWorks for Chef Automate. And when it comes to this monitoring and logging, you have your AWS X-Ray, you have your Amazon CloudWatch, you have your CloudTrail, you have your AWS config, and etc. So yeah, AWS continuous integration and delivery here. So what you will be doing here, we have this thing, right? We'll build applications with the help of CodeStar, and we have this AWS. It comes to this integration and delivery, right? So next thing which gets into our mind is this code pipeline, which allows it is a batch-based release of the application, and code deploy. Once after this integration is done, no, you have to deliver it. So you have to make it live. So this is where AWS code deploy helps you, and you have your code commit. So with this help of your code commit, no, you can actually advance your applications or build or update your applications and all. And you have your AWS cloud code build, which allows you to build your application. And coming to this code star, it releases code faster, it collaborates securely with your entire team, and it has integrated issue tracking and project management, developed an AWS in minutes, and supported for popular programming languages. So this is where CodeStar is ahead when compared to other platforms. And yeah, you have this implement AWS DevOps here. So here you have your thing, right? Source, build, test, production, which comes under this code stack. So here in the source now you have your code commit. Under this build you have your code build. You have test, you have your third party tooling. That may be your unit test or your block test, something like this. Under this production you have your code deploy, which allows your application, which will be making your application live. And all these things are taken care of this code pipeline. the futures of CodeStar. It has many project templates, and team access management with AWS IAM is done, and it is a managed build service with AWS Code Build. You have unified project dashboards using Amazon CloudWatch. You have issue tracking and project management tools in dashboard. You have your code commit, secure hosted Git repositories where, and you have your automated app development with AWS, Code Deploy, and AWS Cloud Formation. You have integration of AWS Cloud Pipeline for automated continuous delivery pipeline. And when it comes to this project templates, it's pre-configured AWS Cloud Formation templates for quick development project creation, and you have your automatic provisioning of underlying AWS services for quick app coding and deployment. Over 20 different AWS core project templates, and you have three hosting environments, that is your self-managed, that comes under this EC2 or code deploy, and you have managed, that is your Beanstack, and you have your serverless, that is your Lambda. So which product, it supports many programming languages like Java, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, PHP, and it also supports this many IDE or code editors, that is your Visual Studio, Eclipse, and CLI, AWS CLI, that is your command line interface. So here, yeah, this is how the project, like we have seen this thing, right? We have done, like we have created a project in the code star named chatbot, and we have seen this code build, code commit, and cloud pipeline thing. So yeah, we have this project roles where this owner has the ability to add and remove team members, contribute code to the project repository, grant or deny team members remote access, and to the contributor, he or she has the ability to add and remove dashboard resources and contribute code to the project repository. Only this viewer has the ability to view the project dashboard, code file, code, and project state. And this project team members users can have different CodeStar roles and permissions, and can belong to multiple CodeStar projects. You don't like they don't have to they don't there's no such thing like they should belong to one project or one application. And continuous delivery pipeline, here we have seen this pipeline, right? It's a stepwise thing. So when it comes to this pipeline, no, take this example of manufacturing this thumbs up bottle, cool drink thumbs up. So what happens in the first stage is a bottle, if we divide it into four stages, what happens in the first stage is a bottle is picked up and is sent to this filling unit. So this is the first step, first stage. In the second stage, once after it receives the bottle to the filling unit, it will be filled up with this thumbs up, or whatever the drink may be, and then it will be sent to this stage 3. In the stage 3, a cap will be fixed to the bottle, which is filled with this soft drink, and will be sent to the fourth stage. What happens in the fourth stage is a stickering is done. So it is a stepwise process, right? And once all the remaining stages will be performing actions simultaneously. That is, if you have 10 bottles, whenever this first bottle has passed the stage 1, the second bottle will enter the stage 1. So once after this first bottle in stage 2 has performed its tasks and is sent to the stage 3, this second bottle, which is in stage 1, will be sent to stage 2, and the third bottle, which is idle, will be sent to stage 1. So this is how a pipeline process works. And coming to this, code start services, you have the software release steps. We have the source, that is a code commit. We have this code build, and we have this third-party tooling, and we have our production, that is our code deploy or Beanstack or Lambda. So when it comes to this code deploy, you have this on-premise deployment and your EC2 deployment. When it comes to Beanstack, it will be automatically redirected, or you will be having your files in the EC2. Like you will be taking your server instance from EC2. When it comes to production, you can actually use this Lambda or API gateway. So yeah, this is how these services work. So yeah, that's it for today's class. Thank you.